Hello guys, welcome back to Sky Media. This is weekly Q&A with me, Venus, and here with me is again Washington. Mr. Washington, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you doing?
I'm fine. How was your week?
Yesterday was really hard. Have you ever got to that point where you feel overwhelmed, where you've come close to demotivation, something like that? It was one of those days where I felt so bad, where I felt so overwhelmed by so many things. One of them being the uncertainty surrounding my near future. I have plans to travel abroad.
Okay.
To help my older sister with something that could require me about 2 or 3 months. So right now the application is already submitted. What's left is the verdict, if that's what they call it. So for the last 2 weeks I've been waiting for that. So I have so many plans in line with the work I shared with you after the 5 days swim challenge, the work regarding SKYEGROVE and all the other divisions. But I can't plan so far in the future because I don't know where I'm going to be. If I'm going to stay, that means my plans will revolve around this nation, what I can do in this nation regarding that work. If I'm going to travel for 2 or 3 months, that's a different story. So that uncertainty has been disturbing me for the last 2.5 weeks, and yesterday I got to that point where I just wanted it all to end and have clarity, have that certainty back, and then be able to think and plan and move. Yeah.
Okay, that is a big how you're feeling. Can't your work be done? Isn't it work that you can do here or there with ease?
Yes and no. Yes, because after more thinking again, I realized that most of the work that has to be done has to revolve around Sky Media. We have Sky World, we have Sky Economy, we have Sky Healthcare, we have Sky Education, we have Sky Media. But I realized that the most important work to do this time around this time is Sky Media. So all the work has to revolve around Sky Media, which brings me back to the question of why. Focus and leverage.
Okay.
Yes.
Washington, last week you mentioned you're going to be starting weekly conversations with your father. And last week we were lucky or blessed to have your first conversation. Just a little bit, how did that make you feel that you managed to accomplish that? Just the feeling.
The feeling. The strange thing is that no matter how many times I stand or sit before the cameras, it never gets easier. I worried myself the whole of Tuesday night last week and the early morning hours of Wednesday. How I'm going to start the show, how I'm going to open up, because I'm not so good at opening things. I'm better in conversation with someone. I'm better when things are already rolling. I'm not good at starting things. So whenever I feel like I'm in a situation where I'm presenting, going fast, it troubles me because I'm not naturally gifted at that. I'm better with when things are rolling. So it bothered me so much. We got into the car and all that was playing in my head, how do I start this thing? How do I open? But then when we got to Katosi Road, now the road that goes to Bokonjeru, I told myself, okay, this is happening, one more another is happening. So I might as well just roll with it. So my father gave me a few tips. Some were coming from the feedback he was giving about some of the shows we are doing. And he told me that I needed to start with a strong voice, something that touches someone.
So
he advised me to start with a strong voice. You know how you're watching people on YouTube and they start with a strong voice that captivates you. So he told me that I need to start with that kind of voice, not a laid-back voice.
Like,
Which
oh,
goes
well,
back to the thing I told that I've just told you right now. I'm not good at starting things. That much I know. This is my usual tone. This is how I speak. So if I don't come off like a lion in the first seconds, that is who I am. But during the course of the conversation, I hit up and hit my natural tones and intensity. So he told me to start and project intensity, and I did my best, and then things got normal.
Yeah, I think personally watching that, I enjoyed it myself. It was nice. And I think like I was going to ask you, because I could not help but tell the joy and excitement that this thing brought you, this conversation. I could tell when I hear you speaking. When you hear Washington speaking Luganda, then you know he has been fired up.
No, it was wonderful. Like I said in that episode, that it's something we had started in 2018, and when he got a minor stroke, so I worried, what if Zay dies with the things he has? So we started something, but again, when he got better, the natural self kind of natural human nature comes back in, and you let things go. But I was excited because we were doing it on the road. It wasn't something we are seated and conversing like a talk show. It was on the road. I liked that. It was on the road. We were free. We could switch between languages, so making it easier for each of us to convey our feelings and exactly what we wanted to communicate.
All right. Okay. So what does this experience and journey mean to you in regards to, I remember last time you said something about it, but why is it important that you should have this conversation and this journey weekly? You've just mentioned a little bit about it, that you don't want your father to die with all he has. But just again, why is it important for you to have these journeys? Why? What is it that you want to put forward? What do you want the nation to know, all the people who are watching, who are going to listen to these things, to know and understand and take away as the most important thing, or the theme, or the inspiration, or the insight behind this journey, these conversations that you're going to be having with your father until we don't know when, but for the longest time?
Two things I can, from top of my mind and heart. One, wisdom. He's uniquely gifted with insight. I'm confident to call it divine insight.
Mama.
Divine insight. That he has an understanding. He has an understanding that not so many people have. God has gifted him with so much insight, so much wisdom. So he's richly gifted with divine insight, wisdom, that I believe this nation, this world has to hear about. He's someone you can't lose on any topic. He's someone rich with experiences, rich with stories, interesting stories. So I wanted to capture our conversation with him because I wanted to give him a platform where he pours out what he has inside. So we're going to talk about so many things, but I've designed it in such a way that we start with the basic things. His history, where he's coming from, so childhood, youth, and then his calling. We shall get into that. That is reason one. Reason two goes back to the very reason I started 5 Days to Live. So many times people die with things they could have given the world, they could have done, but never got the chance to. So this show is one way of helping my father do those things without having to write a book, because writing is very hard. Writing is very hard, but talking is much easier. And the thing about talking is that you do it once, and that is it.
No editing.
No editing, no proofreading, that is it. Being a writer, I know what it means to write a book. So instead of writing, let him just pour out with fun, with freedom. Let him speak his heart out in a language that is so easy for him, in an environment that is so free. So that's what the show is all about, and that's why I did it. 2 reasons.
Yeah, so guys, if you missed that episode, you should go and watch it because it was interesting. Just casual but very interesting. Now, Washington, just to end on that point, if you don't mind, you're going to have another conversation this week.
Yes.
If you don't mind,
With you.
don't, no, not with me, with your father.
Yes,
If
tomorrow.
Tomorrow. But if you don't mind, can you give us a sneak peek?
Sneak peek.
Can you? Youth.
Yes, he had his first child before he was 18. I want him to tell us how that happened. Yes.
All right. Okay, moving on. Yesterday you did a workout video. I don't know whether it is up yet or not.
Not yet.
But in that video, you were working out, and there was something you wanted to tell your viewers.
Yes.
Oh, so what is it all about?
Fitness.
Why fitness?
Because if your heart is fit, if your heart is good, if it's strong, the rest of your body is. Unless the brain dies, because when the brain dies, that's like lights out. But as long as your heart is in good condition, it doesn't matter whether you're disabled or you can't see or you can't do anything else. If your heart is good, you're going to be healthy. So fitness is a very important aspect of our lives. And as Sky Healthcare, in the future we are going to incorporate fitness into the healthcare system, because we've grown up to think that healthcare simply means going to hospital and getting medicines, and no, it's much deeper than that. So fitness, and what I did actually was something anyone can do from home. The advantage I have is that I have a runway that is long enough for me to sprint, but you don't have to sprint. And what I was doing is called high intensity interval training, where you alternate periods of high intensity, 15 seconds of high intensity followed by a minute of rest. So I was walking around during the 60 seconds of rest. So you can do that 10 times or 11 times for 2 weeks, and then week 3 and 4 you increase the time of intensity to 30 seconds and you keep your rest time to 60 seconds. It is a very powerful way of burning fat. For those of you who want to burn fat, for those of you who want to build a really good heart, that's something you can do at home. If you can't sprint, if sprinting is hard, you can do jumping jacks. Jumping jacks. The same way, 15 seconds, 60 seconds, 30 seconds, 60 seconds. Then you go to 45 seconds, 30 seconds. So you'll be increasing the intensity while lowering your time of rest.
Okay.
But more on that, I just want to demonstrate to you that despite our busyness, I hope that is a word that exists.
Despite for being so busy
yes,
and occupied
by things, you can find time. That took me less than 10 minutes to do. I didn't do all the 10 sets, I did only 5. But usually it takes me no more than 15 minutes. And I haven't been doing it for quite some time. I haven't been to the gym in nearly 2 months. So I was starting to feel heavy around my midsection. So I had to go back.
Washington, you are a bit light and well up on your limbs. You can use them, but there are people who have reached a point where they're actually too heavy to even jump, lift their legs up. Can this apply to them? How can they go around this?
Jumping jacks.
But they are too heavy to even,
to jump while doing this.
Yes. Okay. You've seen them.
I know because I have experiences of people having that problem. Okay, that we can discuss. I'll do some research and give people alternatives they can use.
Okay.
I can sprint, I can do jumping jacks, but not everybody can do that.
Okay, Mr. Washington, just still on that point of working out, why is working out and being healthy important to you?
To me,
Yes.
it is an investment, and a very hard investment for that matter.
Why an investment?
Because, like all investments, they pay dividends over the long term. 30 years from now, if I keep this up, I'm going to be physically fit. And you, madam, who doesn't exercise, you're going to be struggling. So this investment I'm making right now is for the future. The same way we invest money in business to be better off 10, 15 years in the future. That's what I'm doing. And it's not easy.
You don't have to answer this, but someone will say, after all, even I'm not assured of living forever.
No, if we live like that, then we are just going to be reckless and careless.
Yeah.
Yes, I could exercise every day and get hit by a bus tomorrow.
Yes.
But at least I want to go knowing that I did everything I could
Okay.
to stay fit, to stay healthy.
All right. So probably this will be my second or last question. What is the motivation? It is more like the last one, but this one is now known to you. What is the motivation, and why is it important that your family here at Sky Media or SKYEGROVE or everything Sky pay attention to health living and exercising? Why is there a story behind why you're doing this? And if it's there, we would like to know. And why would you care about people exercising? After all, it's not your life. You are doing yours. Who cares about other people? Why?
No.
What is the motivation?
I lost my mom at 45 years. And that is to this day the most painful thing I've ever had to endure. And the disease that took her was heart disease. So you can see why I relate so much with heart disease. Keep your heart healthy by eating well, exercising, and you're going to keep it strong. And if your heart is strong, chances are you're going to live longer than most people. There are two diseases that are killing the world at a faster rate than any other. One of them is heart disease and the other is cancer. HIV isn't as bad as it used to, but those two diseases are killing the world at a rate faster than any other disease. So I do it because so many times I imagine what my mother would be like at this time. I mean, it's been over 12 years now. She would be 57, and I think about my life, and then I get motivated to exercise. First of all, to keep my heart good, and second, to put on a good physique. That's another motivator too. But the main motivation is keeping healthy, because just these 2 months I haven't been exercising. I've been feeling chest pains and difficulty breathing sometimes, and my mind just kept going back to that moment, to that day, all those years leading to her death. So these things used to happen to her, so I don't want that to happen to me, and I hope people take exercising seriously, because if you don't, it's going to kill you at some point. Because when your heart is inactive, blood doesn't circulate as naturally as it should, and once circulation becomes a problem, you are in problems. So that's why I am so much into fitness. That is why one of the works of SKYEGROVE is Sky Health Care. Not just treating people, but doing
helping people live their best lives.
Measures. You don't have to wait to be admitted before you start exercising. You don't have to wait till you get to 60 years to think about exercise, at which point it might be too late. Yeah, so that's why I do it, and that's why it's one of the works of SKYEGROVE.
So should I say you are like a parent caring for his or her children?
Yes, because I know what it feels like to lose someone.
Or to lose use of your body?
Yes, exactly. You could lose someone, you could lose part of your body, because once you can't do certain things because your heart is weak, chances are you're not going to be able to do so many other things. If walking is a problem because every time you walk you feel like your heart is about to pop out, then chances are you're going to spend most of your day in a chair or on a bed, and that's never good.
Okay, Mr. Washington, as we wind up this segment, what next? Any updates on any upcoming projects, any shows, any updates on Sky Media?
Like I told you, in fact, let me say it outright. The work we are going to focus on right now in the next 2 to 5 months is going to be around Sky Media and Sky World. Reason being, Sky Media is the highest leverage. Sky Media helps us get all those other things. You know, predators, you must find a spot on the animal where you sink in your teeth and focus on that if you want to kill the animal. So much as much as I want all these things done, there has to be a place we start. We sink our teeth and build from that, and Sky Media is that. Sky Media helps us with Sky World, it helps us with Sky Economy, it helps us with Sky Healthcare. That in 5 or 3 years' time, you'll understand what I'm talking about.
All right.
Yes.
So thank you, Washington. I think that is all for now. I'll let you go back to your exercising.
I'm done.
I got him off exercising to do this, but I'm glad he did and took some time off to do it. I hope you benefit, and I hope you take this seriously, especially exercising and keeping your bodies fit or heart fit, because I know what it means when you wake up just all of a sudden and you cannot use your body. The things that were easy to do are so difficult, and every time you sleep you don't know whether it will be the last time.
And one last thing, if I forget, I want to leave you with this. I read this quote last year and it impacted my life so much. I want to leave it to you. If you do today what most people are not willing to do, what most people want to do, you will be able to do tomorrow what they can't or won't be able to do. If you do today what most people want, you will be able to do tomorrow what they can't. Not many people can exercise. No, not many people will exercise. Not won't, but can't. Everybody can, but not everybody will.
Yes.
So if you do that which most people won't do, not can't do, won't do, you'll be able to do tomorrow what they can't or won't be able to do. Exercise today because most people won't. Invest today because most people will just eat their money. Love your children today because at the rate the world is moving, people don't have time for family. If you do those things that most people won't do today, you'll be able to do tomorrow what they can't. Read books because most people won't, and tomorrow you'll be able to do what they can't.
You've heard it from the man himself. Nothing further to add on. Catch you next time. Take care.